always there.
Today on One, your daily dose of local affairs and social media commentary.
Today on One, Health Minister has authority to lock down COVID-19 hotspots. Walvis Bay Salt Holdings acquires new trucks for smoother operations. And Finland and Namibia commemorates 150 years of friendship.
At this week's 21st COVID-19 update at State House, Justice Minister Yvonne Tausab said the Minister of Health and Social Services can introduce lockdown measures and restrict movement from or into affected areas if the number of cases continue unabated. She also warned that those not complying with the mandatory regulations could be arrested and fined up to 100,000 Namibia dollars. Speaking at the public briefing and giving clarity on the revised measures aimed at suppressing the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic, Yvonne Tausab said the Health Minister Kalumbi Shangula has the authority to restrict movement in areas regarded as hotspots such as the central and southern regions.
The Minister of Health and Social Services has broad powers that are provided for under Section 29 of the Public and Environmental Health Act. And under that Act, Your Excellency, the Minister can actually introduce, if in the next 14 days that we have introduced these new measures, there are indications that the cases are going up, the Minister may actually introduce measures such as, and I want to emphasize this, to indicate to people that they may not come into an affected area or they may not move around in that affected area. It is one of the powers that the Minister has. He also has the power to close down public entertainment places if it requires of us. If over the next 14 days we do get an indication that people are either not doing what they need to do in terms of health protocols, the Minister has the power to take additional measures to reduce the movement of people even.
The police have been directed to be out enforcing the law and ensuring that members of the public comply with safety protocols such as the wearing of face masks and social distancing, failure to which could lead up to a fine or imprisonment.
It is an offense not to comply with any of the measures that we have in place. We do understand that there is a little bit of confusion about the fact that previously there was a $2,000 fine, and because that $2,000 fine is not explicitly provided for in the health regulations, people have been under the mistaken impression that that does not apply anymore. It does apply. The only difference is that the law makes provision for any amount between $1 to 100,000, you can be fined. And the fining happens this way, Your Excellency. Once you are found to have not complied with the measures that have been put in place, you could be, of course, if you're not wearing a mask, the first thing that needs to be done is that you will be reminded to take out your mask from your pocket and wear it. If you insist in not wearing your mask, you could be arrested because we don't have spot fines. You could be arrested, and once you are arrested, the only way you will be released is either on warning or on bail. That doesn't mean that that is the fine. The fine is only determined in a court of law.
With many traveling for the festive season, Tausab urged people to keep extra masks at hand in the event that visitors are invited to one's home. Government has released a notice informing the public that the amended regulations have been gazetted into law.
Imagine opening your Nedbank account anywhere, anytime by simply taking a selfie. Introducing Identity Today, a platform which enables you to open your Nedbank account, scan the Nedbank QR code with your smartphone camera, and immediately follow the instructions on the link that will open up in your web browser. Follow the simple steps to complete the account opening online form. Have your identity card or passport ready. Take a selfie and send it to us, and your new Nedbank account will be opened and confirmed in 3 minutes or less. Visit www.nedbank.com.na to shift your account to Nedbank today. Nedbank. See money differently.
Wow, look at that, guys.
Last time I couldn't reach this.
Now I can.
Yes, you can. Oh,
Now I can see nothing.
Yeah, you must put 5.
This is a really black.
the path.
When you come up with the Table Mountain, you gotta make sure you have comfortable heels. Comfortable shoes, no heels.
So when we came here, there was no clouds. Now it's coming. Okay, so when you come out, you get your photos there.
So Annie got a Dusty. Annie got a Dusty, and we're gonna name her Mika.
With trusted quality and great value on all Clicks brand products, switch and save. Buy Clicks Hygiene Body Wash 500 mils, $54.99 each. Buy Clicks Tissue Oil 125 mils, $95.69 each. Or buy Clicks Soap 175 grams, $8.79 each. And buy Clicks Expert Waterless Hand Sanitizer from $32.99 each. Clicks. Feel good. Pay less.
Hello, my baby.
Hi, Daddy. I miss you. Is your new job finished?
Not yet. Daddy's keeping really busy here. There's still a lot of work to do.
Mommy says Daddy's the big boss at work and that he tells everyone what to do. What's your new house like? Is it big?
Daddy has such a nice new home with a big room and a picture of you right next to my bed.
Can I come and see it? Daddy? Are you still there?
The Walvis-based Salt Holdings Company, in partnership with Unitrust Namibia, is working on plans to utilize new performance-based standards vehicles for transporting salt into the port of Walvis Bay. The Walvis-based Salt Holdings Company is one of the biggest transporters of salt that ships about 600,000 tons of processed salt to various international countries per year through the port of Walvis Bay. The company recently introduced its plans of utilizing new vehicles that are expected to start operation early next year.
All the residents that's affected or on the road that the vehicles are traveling. So just the assurance that, you know, with this is coming new technology. With the new technology, we're talking about safer, less vehicles, and with the less vehicles, the drivers, so we're basically going to go from 8 vehicles to 5 vehicles, but that doesn't mean that anybody will be laid off. We've got 70 vehicles running, so basically those drivers will get absorbed into our other business that's on the fuel side of it, and the balance of the drivers basically who's been there from the beginning will basically just receive new training, updated training. So the new vehicles is also coming with 24/7 tracking and cameras. So if anybody has got a problem or there's anything that we've seen, we can replay and actually see what happened inside the cab and outside the cab to see what is happening. The old vehicles, because of the salt and that, they had a lot of seepage where if there was any water present in the salt, you would have had some spillage on the road. So at the bottom line is to actually tell the people that this is actually, for the greener side of it, There's less emissions, that's because there's less vehicles that will be on the road, less chances of incidents, and you actually are doing much more effectively the loads. So instead of them seeing a truck 80 times a day passing through their house or past there in front of their house, there's going to be now basically 40 trips. So that's almost a 50% reduction. So for us, that's one of the big points. But the other point is that you actually got a safer vehicle on the road now, with even contributing to the greenhouse emissions and all of that. So we're trying to also do our part to make sure that not just from safety but from an environmental perspective that we do our part.
Residents living in the area where the vehicles operate also gave their opinion on the plans.
This news, the number of trucks for the bulk salt only having divided by 50% is not enough. They should actually do more also to reduce their container traffic, and we must find a solution for the containers and for the flatbed trucks which transport the bagged salt. I'm talking on behalf of all the residents in our road that our traffic with the salt works is way too much at the moment, and these huge trucks in our road will just cause more vibrations and maybe damages to our houses. We don't know how we can handle that in the future. We will see. But yeah, it is not really the greatest news ever we have received here today.
Trucks that were designed and built by Afrit in South Africa are slightly longer. They are 27 meters long, while the current trucks are 22 meters long, ensuring fewer trips between the company and the port, amongst others, while trucks will turn better and salt will spill less salt on the roads.
Santa's back with even more Christmas specials from MTC. Visit your nearest mobile home to unbox the connection with great deals on mobile phones and accessories now.
Awesome. Thank you.
Get your share of Santa's goodies from MTC and make this Christmas a connection to remember. MTC, make the connection.
It feels good, Coca-Cola and food, Monday to Sunday. We're all chasing taste. Let's just grab a bite and enjoy drinking Coca-Cola every single day. So we feel forever be real, together stay free wherever at. No, we can't stop, we wanna taste the feeling. Nothing can ever bring us down. Taste the feeling.
Today I'm joined by a panel of men. As per usual, we men get to talk about what we men really talk about. The program aims to make sure that what is left in the dark definitely comes to light.
I did see my father physically abusing my mother, so I didn't grow up with that I should beat a woman, because I hated what my dad did to my mom.
You know, whether this older woman does it with you, whether she, violates you, it's sort of seen that boosts your ego as a man.
Was that as a young man, I think at 17, 18, I started dating and realized that it's a very fascinating thing to have sex and so forth. So we had lots of what we call friends with benefits.
The United Nations is marking its 75th anniversary at a time of great challenges, including the worst global health crisis in its history. The world needs solidarity, and your contribution counts. It only takes a minute to make a real difference. So, take 1 minute to complete the short survey you will find at un75.online. Add your voice, Namibia, and be heard. The future we want, the United Nations we need.
Embassy of Finland in Windhoek recently celebrated the country's 103rd independence under the theme Virtuality and Digitalization. Today on One met with the Ambassador of Finland to Namibia to discuss the two countries' exceptionally good and long relations that dates back to the year 1869. In 2020, Finland and Namibia strengthened their special diplomatic relationship as both countries met to celebrate an extraordinarily long and close partnership that has lasted for 150 years. According to the Ambassador of Finland to Namibia, upon gaining independence in 1990, Namibia became one of the key partners of development cooperation for Finland in Africa, and the country was supported on several sectors extending from education, healthcare, mining, environmental protection to strengthening Namibia's civil society landscape.
The areas of cooperation have varied depending on the historical times and the needs and interest of both countries. There were the early contributions to the education and health sector, Finnish support during the independence struggle, and thereafter the development cooperation between the two governments. Today, the interaction between Finland and Namibia is close, it's very rich and diverse, and both countries put emphasis today on the economic and trade relations. And Finland also keeps supporting the Namibian civil society.
With popular technological innovations such as Nokia that revolutionized the global ICT industry, Finland has also supported innovation projects in Namibia such as Tololo Innovation Hub, a co-working environment in the central business district that brings together young entrepreneurs and startups to shape the future of Namibia. According to the ambassador, digitalization and technology is one of the key emerging sectors where Namibia and Finland's economic interests can meet.
After working and meeting with each other this year, mostly online, we have realized that digital revolution is underway with its benefits and many challenges as well. And Finland is one of the leading European countries in digitalization and technology. And I'm positive that this is one of the sectors where the Namibian and Finnish economic interests can meet.
To mark Finland and Namibia's 150 years of friendship, the Embassy of Finland in Windhoek launched a book titled Intertwined Histories, 150 Years of Finnish-Namibia Relations. The book is a collection of essays and historical photographs published by the University of Turku.
Happy Independence Day, Finland from Namibia!
The Namibia Statistics Agency is busy with census mapping, a prephase for the main population and housing census to be conducted in 2021. Census mapping aims to demarcate the entire Namibia into uniquely defined units of enumeration areas to provide an accurate national geographic frame to conduct census. To find out more, tune in to Conversations with the NSA, Saturday evening the 26th of December as from 7 p.m. Play your part. Be counted.
ShopRite is your home of low prices this Christmas with unforgettable savings on everything you need. Stock up this festive season with great deals. Like 2 kilos of Jungle Oats, only $49.99. And 2 kilos of Omaere, just $34.99. Don't miss out on unforgettable savings at the home of low prices this Christmas. Only at ShopRite. Lower prices you can trust, always.
Langeran's Pharmacy is working hard to make sure you stay healthy. Keep your social distance by making use of our convenient new delivery service. Get your prescriptions and orders filled from store to door. With free delivery weekdays in Windhoek, Langeran's Pharmacy puts you first.
Langeran's Pharmacy, open till 8.
In other leading stories, the US Embassy has handed over 3 Toyota Hilux double cab vehicles valued at over 500,000 Namibia dollars per vehicle to the Namibia Institute of Pathology, allowing the NIP to ensure quality HIV testing at regional laboratories. Quality assurance visits verify that testing conducted in all NIP laboratories across the country is of the same high standard. The NIP is committed to ensuring that all laboratory testing is accurate, the results are provided in a timely manner, and that clients and stakeholders receive professional customer service. Funding for the vehicles was provided by the US President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief PEPFAR through the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Namibia. US Ambassador Lisa Johnson says as Namibia moves towards HIV epidemic control, the Namibia Institute of Pathology is strengthening the long-term HIV response by ensuring a consistent, high level of quality from clinics to laboratories, adding that these vehicles will help the NIP maintain its standard of quality throughout the country. In 2021, PEPFAR will increase its funding to the Namibia HIV Prevention, Care and Treatment Program from $81 million to $89 million.
Welcome to Comments Corner, your daily dose of local comments from the hottest social media pages. An operation codenamed Haukanam, a combination of previous joint crime prevention operations of the Namibian police, namely Honkrans, Kalahari and Namib Desert, is currently underway nationwide and is scheduled to end on the 12th of March next year. Cornelia said, "We welcome them with both arms." Eddie asked what they will be doing exactly. Erica said the motto is to obey and you will be safe. Jacobs hopes that there will be no citizen fatality reported this time around. Gerald said, "Did I hear breathalyzers?" And that is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast every day only on to DN1.
In a time of uncertainty, false news, and fear, learn on. While the world scrambles to make new sense, while the experts turn around in circles, trying to find their way back to tomorrow. Learn on. When classrooms become empty cathedrals and the trees start to bear answers, learn on. Learn on until every parent is a teacher and every teacher is a mentor. Learn on until you cross the boundaries of your mind, until you grow eyes and sprout wings. My friend, learn on sidewalks, on the floor, at the neighbors, in the market, in hallways, in churches, under trees, at kitchen tables, in riverbeds. Learning doesn't only happen between four walls. Learning happens in the small space of your enormous, beautiful mind. Start where you are. Use what you have. Learn on one. Invite learning in.
The mighty Zambezi River, the longest east-flowing river in Africa, a river that flows through 6 countries, home to a plethora of wild species of fauna and flora, a lifeline for many people whose livelihoods are dependent on the abundance the river brings. Globally, communities who live along rivers rely on these rivers to survive. Communities living along the Zambezi call it the river of life, bringing water for their crops and fish as their main protein source. In Namibia, a country situated in sub-Saharan Africa, the Zambezi River sits at the heart of Kaza, the Kavango-Zambezi Trans-Frontier Conservation Area, which is one of the greatest conservation areas on Earth, a stronghold for very many of our most iconic wildlife.
I'm right now where the river forms the border between Namibia and Zambia. This enormous water body provides sustenance to a wide array of wildlife, bird and fish species. It's also a lifeline for human beings.
The same communities are the people also who are doing the illegal activities.
The price of fishing has gone up because fish has become scarce.
The more they finish us, the more our life gets harder and harder.
These days, it is very rare to get a big bream unless in those protected areas.
A small group of community members, together with non-governmental organizations like Namibian Nature Foundation, are fighting back.
We have to start thinking out of the box, to be honest, because what's going to happen is going to be out of this box that we haven't seen before.
By creating protected areas, monitoring and patrolling, fish stocks have a chance at recovery. These are the stories of the people fighting for the continued existence of their communities. These are the last defenders.
Struggling with no food, no what. But we didn't stop. If we are going to do it, our young children, they'll never know the fish.
Prevention is important. Help prevent the spread of illness and keep yourself and others well. Hand washing is one of the most effective ways of preventing the spread of germs. Wash your hands regularly with soap and hot water, scrubbing your hands thoroughly for at least 20 seconds. Hand sanitizers can be used but are not recommended as a substitute for hand washing. Use sanitizers in addition to hand washing or in a situation where soap and water are not available. To avoid spreading germs, limit sharing of personal items such as utensils, cups, and dishes. Your skin acts as a barrier to germs, but your eyes, nose, and mouth are more vulnerable. Wash your hands thoroughly before touching your face, eating, or drinking. Avoid physical contact with others, including handshakes, fist bumps, high fives, hugs, and kisses. Social distancing is deliberately increasing the physical space between people to avoid spreading germs. While regulations may vary by country or area, the best guideline for social distancing is to maintain a distance of 6 feet from others. Germs can travel through the air from one person to another. If you sneeze or cough, do so into a tissue or the inside of your elbow to prevent the spread of germs. Avoid contact with ill individuals and insist they isolate themselves until they have recovered and are symptom-free. Clean and sanitize frequently touched common surfaces and high-traffic areas in your home and workplace several times a day. Share these guidelines with others and help prevent the spread of illness and maintain a healthy environment. An ounce of prevention is worth a ton of cure.